Hi, I'm Mitch Bautista, an enterprise account manager from the Philippines. Thank you for joining us today. This session will discuss and deep dive on data and insights, focusing on customer experience and particularly sharing the Aboitiz data innovation story and how they take advantage of data for the companies from different industries that belong to their conglomerate. Data shows that organizations who prioritize customers outperform those that don't. Watermark Consulting has been tracking the Standard & Poor's Index for customer experience leaders and laggards for over 11 years, and have found that customer experience leaders outperformed the broader market, generating a total return that was 45 points higher than the S&P 500 index. Loyalty leaders grow revenues roughly 2.5 times as fast as their industry peers. As a result, many organizations profess to have made customer experience a number one priority for digital transformation, with nearly 80% believing that they deliver a super customer experience, as self-reported in a study by Bain & Company. However, a complementary study by Bain to the actual end customer found that only 8% of customers agree that brands are delivering a super customer experience, leaving a significant gap between reality and perception. How do you become a customer experience leader? By meeting the expectations of your customers, and that's the mission of AWS, to enable our customer to meet the expectations of their customers. Why just meeting expectations instead of exceeding expectations? A research study by CEB found that delighting customers by exceeding their expectations just doesn't pay in the long term. Instead, customer loyalty is driven by how well a company delivers on its basic promises and solves day-to-day problems. To transform the customer experience, companies need to engage customers with the right product or service at the right time and on the right channel. Mastering customer engagement starts with data. Creating a 360 view of your customers' demographics data, shopping habits, support cases, and more enables you to intimately understand your customers and power the flywheel of growth. With insights from the Customer 360, you are able to engage your customers in a contextually meaningful way and earn customer trust, which in turn generates more demand for your product and services. However, companies are struggling to build a platform to support this because of many challenges they face, such as overlapping and conflicting information about a customer, be it across lines of business, across channels, or across business functions. Data is also growing rapidly, not to mention the types of data: structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. New channels open and create new opportunities to interact and transact. Consumers are engaging with businesses in new ways: .com, emails, web chats, social media, review sites, and more, generating 2.5 quintillion bytes of data every day. Confidently resolving identities, whether anonymous data or known data. A customer's identity varies across systems: order management system, billing system, versus e-commerce sites. Two of the most important items would be governance of personal identifiable information and first-party data, and lastly, lack of expertise. AWS can power companies to successfully build a customer 360 with our services, from ingestion to harmonize company data at scale, to creating real-time, persistent, and precise view of the customer. Under this pillar, we are addressing two distinct and important capabilities. First, the ability to gain a precise view of the customer through the use of identity resolution. Second, the ability to provide a real-time view of customers' journey through the use of entity matching. To querying large volumes of historical and real-time customer data and enriching customer profiles with recommendations, predictions, and more. Sensing and responding to signals throughout the customer's life cycle, surfacing actionable insights, including those that aren't immediately obvious. Imagine you are a conglomerate and your customer data is spread across several operating companies. How do you integrate your customer data? Create a secure mechanism to share data across companies of course, subject to customer consent. Let's hear from Dr. Hardoon how Aboitiz Data Innovation leverages the capabilities of AWS products to build its own data exchange platform, Parlay, to overcome these challenges and unlock the power of the ecosystem.
To everyone tuning in, thank you for joining me in this AWS Summit 2022 session. I am David Hardoon, and I am speaking to you today in my capacity as Chief Data and Innovation Officer of the Aboitiz Group and Managing Director of Aboitiz Data Innovation. I would like to spend the few minutes that I have to share with you how Aboitiz has been approaching data, and specifically how we have approached untangling the data ecosystem. I would like to start my presentation by providing you the context for our aspiration. The Philippines, one of the fastest growing economies in Asia, is home to 109 million people, 73 million of which have access to the internet. Now that's a big number. If we look at mobile phone subscription, it is 1.6 times the population. There are more mobile phones than the entire population. Yet concurrently, around 41 million Filipinos are unbanked. My point is not to focus on finance per se, even though it is one of our key areas, but instead to emphasize the scale of the opportunity that is before us. The access to the internet, mobility, device, cloud is more prevalent than the services and the products we wish to avail to all. Before I proceed, given the diverse audience who may not all be acquainted with the Aboitiz Group, a very brief introduction to anchor the context. The Aboitiz Group has been in business for over 100 years and today has major investments in power, banking, and financial services, food infrastructure, land, as well as construction and shipbuilding. Aboitiz Data Innovation, a subsidiary of Aboitiz Equity Ventures International, enables the group's data strategy through its dual role as a service provider and a governance center to support the entire organization. Aboitiz views data science and artificial intelligence as a necessary element to be ingrained across our entire business landscape, specifically in developing and supporting business models and decision-making capabilities. Ultimately, it becomes a key driver in enabling and accelerating Aboitiz's transformation and achieving the group's environmental, social, and corporate governance, ESG, goals. In all things, Aboitiz is guided by its group's purpose and brand promise to drive change for a better world by advancing businesses and communities. Because our success in business should also be measured by how much improvement it has made on the lives of our community of stakeholders. There are 4 primary reasons why we decided to leverage on cloud. The first is business agility, or hyperscale. As we enter an age where interconnected economies make business susceptible to global disruptions, data science and AI strategies will be crucial for building agile businesses that can foresee problems and react faster. We want to be agile with an ability to deploy relevant features and applications on a regular and frequent basis. Such capabilities provide the enablement for DevSecOps, development, security, and operations, to reduce errors and embed quality to support even faster deployment. Second is operational resiliency. Significant improvement on the consistency of service level agreements and reduction of unplanned outages due to scale and flexibility. Thirdly, Rather than only focusing on technology resiliency, we have the capability, capacity, and ability to focus on people transformation. This is particularly important to us at Aboitiz Group as we embark on the great transformation into the new Aboitiz, focusing on high potential growth initiatives, a renewed entrepreneurial mindset, and continuous investment in the hypergrowth of the group's team members in enabling and inclusive work environment. Finally, and most obvious aspect of cost savings and infrastructure and overheads. I left that to the last. We have been establishing an AI factory capability, enabling a systematic ability to operationalize AI for revenue opportunities, operational efficiency, and risk management. Operationalizing AI, I want to emphasize that again. A few examples of the operationalization done are in banking and financial services, application of data science and AI for alternative credit scoring for micro, small, medium enterprises and mass market, highly relevant within the Filipino environment. Application for data modeling for bank assurance product relevance, and in areas such as combating financial crimes. In power, applications of AI for reduced consumption of limestone, better control of SOx emissions, and carbon footprint reduction. In manufacturing, cement compressive strength prediction. If anyone ever asked me about AI in cement, I would have said, wow, this is what it is. The ability to predict cement allows for the quality consistency, optimized cement recipes, and raw materials mix and reduction of CO2 emissions. Application of AI in cement. In land, detection of construction delays, enabling better planning and costing, and many, many more. However, vertical applications are just the tip of the iceberg. As a group, we want to go beyond and capitalize on the ecosystem's opportunities that cut across the verticals, such as banking and power, land and power, manufacturing and finance, and so on and so on and so forth. Tapping onto the communities, enabling existing services and products, as well as creating new ones. Unlocking the ecosystem. There are many use cases that maximize AI and cloud, but today I want to share with you one slightly different use case that capitalizes on cloud to accelerate the demonstration of value and relevance. I want to dive deeper into what is, in my opinion, an unusual use case that you do not regularly come about in the world of AI. At least not in this part of the world. And I already emphasized this a bit earlier, AI in cement. In order to do justice, allow me to briefly walk you through the manufacturing process of cement mixture. Today, commonly, cement will go through what is known as a compressive strength testing to assure quality control. In this process, cement is hardened and left to cure for over about a period of 28 days, after which it goes through pressure destruction testing. As you can imagine, we need to wait for 28 days in order to adjust. This may be too late. Likewise, this may be wasteful process where multiple cement cubes are curated, created, and left to cure, and the process does not have to be done again and again. The goal is to have an AI-based prediction on product quality using historical data. Operators now have better foresight on product quality even before the cement curing. This allows for better product quality and reduced operational cost. We use the cloud environment to accelerate the development and testing of the AI model that use the combination of mineralogy and physical data to predict in the future that compressive strength. The resulting model has now been deployed across cement manufacturing plants and has resulted in 20% clinker factor reduction targets and 50% reduction in power consumption. These not only translate to cost savings in the millions, but also quantified annual reductions in CO2 emissions. This is, if one would see one, a true win-win for the business, the people, and the planet. So in fact, it's a triple win. Data, at times, reminds me of the saying, water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. We are surrounded, yet it is, or feels, so difficult to get going. The importance of getting going with data is just get going. Work backwards from the objectives to be achieved and to be compartmentalized. There are a variety of challenges we face. Some mentioned as part of the motivations towards cloud adoption, as well as cloud-first strategy. I will not repeat them again. Now, in order to unlock possibilities from data, it is important to be able to access and explore data, and we're all familiar with the dreaded challenges of data sharing. Months on end for a data sharing agreement, ensuring regulatory and legal compliance, establishing data privacy and security, mitigating potential risks, and executing different efficient data management and usage. The need to have definitive outcomes predetermined before even touching the data to explore feasibility, and the list goes on and on and on. I believe we all know the saying, that doing the same thing repeatedly while expecting different outcomes is akin to madness. Armed with this pearl of knowledge, we set to break this cycle. At least for us, we can solve data sharing once and for all. Governance, privacy, and the auditability baked at the core by default. Maintain perpetual control over the data by the data owner or custodian. Bake in trust such that paper agreement and technical enforcement are now one and the same. And most importantly, allow analysis, modeling, and development on the data by the accessing party. When you walk into a museum and sit in front of the Mona Lisa, when you leave, it is with the aspirations it had given, not the actual painting. This is what we want to seed and proliferate, the ability to be inspired from data. In collaboration with Harbor and AWS, we created Parlay. True to its name, this data exchange platform represents the making of something more from what it currently is. Something bigger and better. Parlay allows you to publish your data and access data from other organizations in the ecosystem, creating infinite possibilities. Through the Harbor Data Commons platform, users are able to publish and access data and unlock new values and insights. Parlay embodies the four aforementioned points, allowing us at the click of the button to spin up secure workspaces loaded with the desired analysis and modeling tools, providing access to the subscribed data. The control over the data is maintained by the provider of the data. And most importantly, no data can be extracted from the secure workspace. Access to the secure workspace is enabled through Amazon Workspaces. Workspace is activated on demand and suspended automatically to save cloud computing costs. When looking for a solution to build our data exchange platform, we knew we needed something that could scale over time. The platform is meant to serve both our group's business units and stakeholders, as well as third-party and external organizations in the future as they join the ecosystem. On top of that, resiliency and security were of utmost importance to us, and AWS provides both natively. Earlier, I had briefly shared some of the applications done in finance, power, manufacturing, and land. The challenges that one needs to overcome to get going on the journey to operationalize data, making it real. At the end of the day, people don't wake up in the morning, or at least I don't believe so, thinking that they want to get a loan because they feel like it. Nor do they, open up their wallet and go, I'm missing a credit card. There's just empty space that needs to be filled up. There's a reason, there's a purpose, there's a necessity behind that. That is essentially what needs to drive us in tapping and unlocking the possibilities from data and the ecosystems. In order to go beyond, we need to apply unconventional thinking to conventional problems. We need to make data work and need to make data accessible. These Lego parts are the pieces, bringing people together with data and relevant tools to achieve operational outcomes. The possibilities are truly limitless. I hope you've enjoyed my brief sharing of what we are doing in the Aboitiz group through Aboitiz Data Innovation. Likewise, allow me to share with you our excitement for data and similarly welcome you to Parlay. As after all, amazing things can be done when we come together in partnership to make something more. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Like Aboitiz Data Innovation, successful business outcomes from AI/ML depend on the careful selection of the right use case. AI use cases that companies across different industries are deploying to enhance their customers' experience, improve their employees' productivity, and optimize their business processes while reducing cost. And at AWS, we're seeing a tipping point where AI/ML in the enterprise is addressing use cases that create measurable results. Customer experience is being transformed via capabilities such as conversational interfaces, smart biometric authentication, and personalization and recommendations. Business operations are being improved with sophisticated demand planning, forecasting models. AI/ML is helping companies make better and faster decisions. In healthcare, we're seeing a shift from reactive to predictive care, including the use of predictive models to accelerate research and discovery of new drugs and treatments regimen. And AI/ML is helping companies create new products, services, and business models to innovate and gain competitive advantage. Once the use case has been selected, customers have the option to execute and implement based on their specific needs through AWS, our partner, or they can do it on their own using different AWS services. Thank you for attending this session. And before closing, we encourage you to get engaged with our training and certification content today. Skill Builder is our online learning center that makes it easier for anyone from beginners to experienced professionals to build AWS cloud skills. We offer 500 plus free digital courses that can help you and your team build new cloud skills and learn about the latest services when and where it's convenient in up to 16 languages. As you build your skills, consider preparing for one of our 11 certifications. These industry-recognized certifications span foundational, professional, and specialty levels to validate AWS knowledge and skills, building your credibility and confidence. We are also inviting you to join the AWS Certified community, which brings together AWS certified practitioners and builders in an exclusive online community. You'll participate in discussion forums, learning and networking opportunities, and challenges from the AWS team to earn rewards and recognition. Scan one or both of the QR codes on the screen to get started with your cloud skills training and certification. Please complete the session survey to help us improve your summit experience in the future. Thank you and have a great day ahead. Stay safe.